So recently, a friend of mine, he's 55, successful guy, was telling me about something that's been happening to him. And honestly, it fascinated me. He said women have been giving him the green light left and right. Some are even making direct efforts to get his attention. Younger women, women his age, even women who completely ignored him back in the day. And here's the part that really got me. He said in his 20s and even his 30s, he was struggling. Women didn't give him the time of day. Some even embarrassed him, wrote him off completely, but now they're the ones chasing him. And some of them are the exact same women who rejected him years ago. So we started breaking it down. He thought it was just about the money, like, I'm successful now, so obviously they're after my wallet. And yeah, financial stability is part of it. But I had to tell him, it's a lot more than that. There are things happening from the female perspective that he never even considered. So if you're over 50 and you've noticed women suddenly paying attention, women who wouldn't have looked at you twice 20 years ago, this is for you. Because it's not just about your bank account, it's about what you've become. Let me break down what I told him. First thing I told him, you're emotionally steady now, and women notice. Look, when you're in your 20s and 30s, you're reactive. Every little thing is a big deal. A disagreement feels like a war. Your ego's on the line constantly. But by 50, you've chilled out. You don't blow up over small stuff. You listen more than you defend. You can have a conversation without turning it into a competition. And for women who've dealt with drama their whole lives, that calm is incredibly attractive. You're not chaos, you're peace. And peace is what most women are craving at this point. Second, you actually know who you are. Younger guys are still trying to figure themselves out. They're trying on different versions of themselves, chasing approval, changing based on who they're around. You know what you like. You know what you don't like. You're not pretending to be someone you're not just to impress her, and that confidence, not arrogance, just knowing yourself, is magnetic. She doesn't have to guess who you are. You're consistent, you're solid, and that feels safe. Third, yeah, the financial stability matters, and let's be real about it. My friend kept saying, they just want my money. And I told him, yeah, some do. Let's not pretend otherwise. Some women are absolutely looking for a man to fund their lifestyle. Designer bags, expensive trips, the luxury life. Those women exist, and you need to spot them early. But here's what I also told him. For a lot of women, it's not about funding a luxurious lifestyle. It's about stability. It's about not worrying if the rent's getting paid, not stressing about the basics, not starting from scratch financially. It's about competence. It's about knowing you can handle life without crumbling under financial pressure, that you've built something and you know how to maintain it. So, yeah, money matters. Some women want it to live lavishly. Others just want the peace that comes with financial security. And you need to figure out which one you're dealing with because one wants your wallet, the other just doesn't want to worry about survival. There's a difference. So here's what I'm curious about. Have you noticed this shift? Women treating you differently now than they did 20 years ago? Drop it in the comments. Fourth, your ego's smaller, and that makes you easier to be around. When you're younger, everything's a test. You need to prove you're smart, strong, successful, right. You can't admit when you're wrong because it feels like losing. But by 50, you've been wrong enough times that it doesn't kill you anymore. You can say, I don't know, or you're right without your whole identity collapsing. And women love that because it means they can actually talk to you. They're not walking on eggshells. They're not managing your ego. They can just be. Fifth, you communicate better. You've had relationships. You've screwed up. You've learned. You know how to say what you mean. You know how to listen without fixing everything. You know when to talk and when to just be there. That's decades of trial and error paying off. And women can feel the difference between a man who's learned how to connect and a guy who's still figuring it out. Sixth, you have this quiet authority that younger guys don't. It's not loud, it's not performative, but you walk into a room and people feel your presence. You're not trying to dominate, you're not trying to prove anything. You just are. And that calm, grounded energy, that's what women mean when they say masculine. Younger guys are still loud, still flexing, still performing. You don't need to, and that's the difference. Seventh, you actually appreciate intimacy now. When you're younger, intimacy is almost disposable. It's easy to come by. You take it for granted. But by 50, you've learned not to. You know that real connection, emotional and physical, is rare. And when you have it, you value it. Women feel that. They feel when a man is present, not just going through the motions. And that presence makes everything more meaningful. Eighth, you're just more fun to be around because you're not stressed about proving yourself anymore. You're not anxious about the future. You've already fought your big battles. So you can relax, you can laugh, you can enjoy life without constantly worrying about what's next. And women want to be around that energy. They want someone who's actually enjoying life, not grinding through it. Now, here's where I had to pump the brakes with my friend. Because all of this is true. And yes, his value has gone way up. But not every woman approaching him is genuine. I told him about another guy I know, early 60s, doing well financially, living a good life. Started dating a woman in her 40s. She was great at first, attentive, made him feel seen. Then she moved in. Then she started spending his money, trips, clothes, renovations he didn't ask for, and when he questioned it, she made him feel like he was cheap, like he was the problem. He ended it, but it cost him. Not just money, his peace, because he'd let his guard down thinking she saw him. But she didn't. She saw what he had. So I told my friend, your shine is just starting, but you need to protect yourself because some women are drawn to who you are and some are drawn to what you have. And you need to be smart enough to tell the difference. Watch how she treats you when you're not spending money. Watch if she's interested in your life or just your lifestyle. Watch if she values your time or just your resources. Because the wrong woman will drain you and the right woman will add to what you've already built. Now, here's the thing. Everything I just told my friend, everything that makes you attractive at this stage, that's not permanent. Yeah, you're shining right now. But this is also where decline can start creeping in if you're not careful. Because the confidence can slip, the health can fade, the presence can weaken. And before you know it, you're back to being invisible. So if you want to keep that shine, not just now, but way into your 70s and 80s, you need to be intentional about it. That's exactly what I break down in The Man Nobody Ignores. It's not just about being the man women want, it's about being the man everybody wants to be around. Young people, your peers, even people older than you. The type of man who walks into a room at 75 and still commands respect without saying a word. It shows you how to maintain the presence you've built, how to protect yourself from those who drain it, and how to keep that quiet authority sharp for decades to come. The links in the description and pinned in the comments section. Now, for the men living this right now, who know their value and aren't apologizing for it, keep going. You earned this. Don't let anyone shame you for having standards. And for the men who've been burned by women who saw dollar signs instead of a person, you're not stupid for trusting. You just trusted the wrong person. Learn, adjust. But don't close off completely, because genuine women exist. Women who see you, not just what you provide, but you have to be discerning. Your 20s were the grind, your 50s are the reward. Enjoy it, but protect it. And just before you leave, show support for this channel by hitting the subscribe button, ringing the notification bell, and sharing this with your friends who need to hear it. I'm Avery Scott, and I'll see you on the next one.